What if all the continents joined together? If all the continents on Earth were to merge into one, a miraculous and unexpected scenario would unfold, bringing profound changes to both nature and society. The connection of continents could completely alter the geographical landscape, with new mountain ranges, valleys, and oceans forming, causing dramatic shifts in the global climate. Animals and plants would also have to adapt to their new habitats, leading to unpredictable biodiversity changes. From a societal perspective, the convergence of continents could foster a new civilization, where cultures intertwine, sharing technology and ideas. However, this fusion could also result in complex geopolitical conflicts as nations compete for resources and territorial rights. Regardless of the outcome, this would mark a significant turning point, making Earth both mysterious and challenging for humankind. Since Earth's formation approximately 4.5 billion years ago, the movement of continents has never ceased. Continents are not static entities but continuously shift positions under the influence of geological processes, particularly the movement of tectonic plates. From the beginning, continental plates have collided, separated, drifted toward or away from each other, shaping the landscapes we see today. One of the most remarkable phases in Earth's geological history was the formation of the supercontinent Pangaea around 335 million years ago, when all the landmasses on the planet combined into one vast landmass. However, over time and due to the effects of tectonic forces, Pangaea began to break apart around 175 million years ago, eventually forming the continents we know today. But what if all the continents on Earth were to merge once again into a new supercontinent? The formation of a Pangaea 2.0 is not just a far-fetched idea. Modern geological studies suggest that this could happen within the next 200 million years as tectonic plates continue to move according to their natural patterns. A new supercontinent would completely reshape the planet's geography, creating vast arid regions and new seas and oceans. If the continents were to unite, they would form an enormous landmass stretching from the North Pole to the South Pole. In this process, existing land areas would be compressed, leading to the rise of new towering mountain ranges and deep valleys. The inland regions of this supercontinent would experience extreme climatic conditions, with scorching heat in the summer and freezing temperatures in the winter. Massive deserts could form, where no rain falls for millions of years. At the same time, existing seas could disappear or transform into new oceans. Changes in ocean currents would have a significant impact on the global climate, completely altering the distribution of ecosystems, marine habitats, and oceanic flows. Coastal regions, with long and rich shorelines, would become major biological hotspots where wildlife and vegetation thrive. The formation of a supercontinent would also profoundly affect the global climate. As all the continents clustered together, the spaces between them would shrink, making winds and ocean currents much stronger. This could intensify climate differentiation, creating extreme conditions in landlocked regions. The central areas of the supercontinent might turn into scorching deserts, while regions near its edges could have milder climates, similar to the coastal areas of today. This transformation would also have far-reaching effects on Earth's ecosystems. Animals and plants would need to adapt to harsher and unfamiliar environments. Some existing species could become extinct due to their inability to adjust, while new species might emerge, forming an entirely different ecological system. Additionally, these climate and geographical shifts could trigger major natural disasters, such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and massive storms, posing severe challenges to life on Earth. From a societal standpoint, the unification of continents would create an entirely new landscape, forcing current nations and cultures to face numerous challenges. A new supercontinent could lead to changes in natural resources, especially mineral reserves, oil, and freshwater sources. Countries would have to engage in intense competition to control resource-rich regions, potentially sparking conflicts and reshaping the global political map. In addition, a supercontinent would also create new opportunities for economic and scientific development. As nations and peoples become geographically closer, Cultural exchanges, technological advancements, and resource sharing could become more accessible, fostering international cooperation. However, this concentration could also increase dependence on shared resources, leading to shortages and conflicts over supply. Although the formation of a new supercontinent, or Pangea 2.0, is a distant event in the future, it presents an intriguing perspective on how Earth will evolve over millions of years. The merging of continents would not only drastically change geography and climate but also profoundly impact life and human society. While predicting the precise details of this event is challenging, it is certain that it would bring about significant transformations, introducing both opportunities and challenges for all living beings on this planet. Climate change is one of the most profound and far-reaching consequences that the unification of continents could bring. If all the continents on Earth were to merge into a supercontinent, it would completely alter the planet's climate system. These changes would not only affect temperature and precipitation patterns but also disrupt the distribution of ecosystems, living conditions for flora and fauna, and cause massive upheavals in human life. When all continents converge, inland regions, areas far from the ocean, would experience severe climate changes. These regions would become giant furnaces due to the lack of nearby oceans to moderate temperatures. Currently, inland areas already experience hot, dry summers and cold winters. But with the formation of a supercontinent, these climate extremes would intensify significantly. Without vast oceans to absorb and redistribute heat, summer temperatures would skyrocket, while winters could become brutally cold. Expanding deserts could replace once fertile farmlands, turning them into barren wastelands unsuitable for agriculture. This would directly threaten the survival of many species, including humans. These areas would face water shortages, resource scarcity, and extreme climate fluctuations, increasing the risk of food and clean water crises. While inland areas would suffer from extreme climate variations, coastal regions might maintain a more temperate climate due to the ocean's ability to regulate temperatures. Oceans can retain heat and minimize temperature fluctuations between day and night, creating a more stable environment for life. However, this does not mean that coastal regions would be immune to climate change. The restructuring of oceans and ocean currents would alter marine climate conditions, significantly impacting coastal ecosystems. As the continents merge, the current intercontinental oceans would shrink or disappear, forming shallow seas or even new landmasses. This could disrupt ocean currents, change marine ecosystems, and increase the frequency and intensity of climate phenomena such as El Niño and La Niña, leading to drastic global climate fluctuations. Tropical storms, tsunamis, and other extreme weather events would likely become more common, posing major threats to coastal communities and islands. A supercontinent would also drastically alter seasonal patterns. Inland regions would experience scorching summers due to the absence of oceans to moderate temperatures. Winters could become unbearably cold, particularly in areas near the center of the supercontinent. This would force a significant redistribution of species across the planet. Seasons would become more unpredictable, profoundly impacting ecosystems worldwide. Animals and plants would have to adapt quickly to new and harsher environments. Species capable of migrating and adapting might survive, but many others that cannot adjust fast enough would face extinction. For example, animals accustomed to temperate climates might struggle to survive in more extreme conditions due to drastic temperature shifts and changing habitats. Tropical rainforest, desert, and wetland ecosystems will be particularly affected. Current dense forests, which are protected by moderate climates and stable rainfall, could be completely altered, turning into arid lands or being destroyed by desertification. This would lead to significant biodiversity loss and could trigger unprecedented ecological disasters. For humanity, climate changes resulting from the formation of a supercontinent would create enormous challenges. Human settlements would face harsher climate conditions, and many regions could become uninhabitable. Countries, especially those in inland or coastal areas, would struggle with unprecedented difficulties in ensuring food security, access to water, and the survival of their communities. Changes in climate and living environments will drive humanity to seek new ways to survive. Climate adaptation technologies, such as climate control infrastructures, land conservation methods, and sustainable agricultural development, will become critically important. Additionally, nations will need to cooperate more closely in dealing with natural disasters and protecting shared resources. Large-scale population movements may occur as communities relocate from regions severely affected by climate change. Climate change caused by continental merging will pose immense challenges for both ecosystems and humanity. The complete transformation of climate structures and seasons will push Earth into a new era, where species capable of adapting to new living conditions will survive, while others face extinction. Furthermore, these changes will have profound social and economic impacts, forcing humanity to develop innovative solutions to confront an unpredictable future. As continents merge into a supercontinent, one of the most profound and significant consequences would be the alteration of ocean currents and global circulation systems. Ocean currents, which transport water across the oceans, play a vital role in regulating the global climate, maintaining marine ecosystems, and affecting human living conditions. The reconfiguration of continents and oceans would drastically change these currents, leading to major disruptions not only in climate but also in marine ecosystems and species distribution. Ocean currents can be considered pathways that transport water within the oceans, helping regulate global temperatures. These currents are driven by a combination of wind, Earth's rotation, and factors such as temperature and salinity variations. They distribute heat from tropical regions to temperate and polar zones, maintaining temperature balance on the planet. For example, the Gulf Stream in the North Atlantic carries warm water from the tropics to northern Europe, creating a mild climate in that region. With continental merging, the distribution of oceans and landmasses would change, altering the structure of ocean currents. Water channels could become blocked or redirected, disrupting traditional circulation patterns. Warm and cold water masses would no longer move as they currently do, potentially leading to a complete shift in climate systems. Such changes would directly impact global temperatures and could result in dramatic climate shifts in regions that currently enjoy moderate conditions. One of the most significant climate phenomena affected by ocean current changes would be El Niño and La Niña. El Niño occurs when Pacific Ocean currents shift, warming waters in the central and eastern Pacific, leading to extreme weather events such as droughts, floods, and disruptions in rainy seasons. Conversely, La Niña is the opposite phenomenon, where central and eastern Pacific waters become cooler, altering rainfall patterns and global temperatures. If the continents merge and alter the structure of the oceans, this transformation could significantly impact El Niño and La Niña phenomena. Warm water regions may no longer be retained in their current locations, weakening or modifying the intensity of these phenomena. Changes in ocean currents could also increase the frequency and severity of extreme weather events such as hurricanes, heat waves, and ice melt. A clear example is that if a supercontinent causes shifts in oceanic flows, tropical regions may receive less rainfall, while polar areas could experience sudden temperature fluctuations. This could heighten the likelihood of natural disasters, including floods, tropical storms, and tsunamis. Marine ecosystems heavily rely on ocean currents to maintain temperature balance and provide suitable living conditions for marine species. These currents transport nutrients from deep-sea regions to the ocean surface, sustaining plankton, which serves as a food source for fish and other marine animals. When ocean currents shift, the distribution of nutrients within the ocean will also be affected, leading to disruptions in marine ecosystems. A newly formed supercontinent could bring massive changes to ocean distribution, forcing marine species to adapt to new environments. New oceanic regions may emerge, but they might lack sufficient nutrients or suitable conditions for existing marine species. Many species will have to migrate or adapt, which could result in significant changes in population distribution. Those unable to adjust to the new currents or altered environments may face extinction. Coastal regions, known for their rich biodiversity, will experience major disruptions if ocean currents change and warm or cold waters no longer move in traditional patterns. Coastal marine ecosystems, such as coral reefs and mangrove forests, could be severely impacted. Shifts in water temperature and salinity may reduce coral survival rates and weaken these crucial marine habitats. Changes in ocean currents and marine ecosystems will also have significant consequences for humans, particularly in nations that rely on marine resources for their economies. Industries such as fishing, marine tourism, and ocean resource extraction will face major challenges. Formerly abundant fishing grounds may experience depletion, while new fishing areas might emerge but lack the necessary conditions for sustainable exploitation. Coastal nations will be increasingly vulnerable to rising sea levels, tsunamis, and other extreme climate events. This will intensify the need for disaster preparedness and the development of strategies to protect marine environments and water resources. The merging of continents will profoundly affect ocean currents and marine ecosystems. Alterations in these currents could disrupt global climate patterns, destabilize marine ecological relationships, and cause significant upheavals in human life. These changes will not only impact climate and ecosystems but also pose unprecedented challenges to industries and the sustainable development of coastal nations. The unification of Earth's continents will bring extensive changes not only to climate and ecosystems but also to existing nations and cultures. This massive geographical shift will create new natural barriers, divide regions, and potentially lead to the disappearance or complete transformation of nations as we know them today. Societies and cultures will face unprecedented challenges in resource management, territorial control, and political power maintenance. As continents merge, the planet's geographical features will undergo drastic changes. Mountain ranges, deserts, and arid zones may emerge, forming new natural barriers. Massive mountain ranges could divide vast land areas, making communication and transportation more difficult. These rugged terrains will isolate communities, reducing connectivity between nations and creating remote, hard-to-access regions. Existing nations may be separated by newly formed mountain ranges or deserts, causing regions to become isolated. Some countries could become isolated kingdoms, losing the ability to trade or maintain influence with other areas. This separation would alter the way nations interact and could lead to the formation of entirely new countries with distinct cultural and political identities. The merging of continents could lead to the disappearance or complete restructuring of existing nations. Some regions might become isolated or dominated by stronger territories. Countries located near harsh climate zones or divided by mountain ranges would face enormous challenges in maintaining their existence. A nation could lose parts of its territory due to geographical shifts. Or smaller states might be overpowered by stronger forces, forcing them to merge or vanish entirely. As continents merge into a supercontinent, land areas will become more valuable than ever before. Competition for resources among nations may intensify, with larger powers easily annexing resource-rich or strategically located territories. Smaller or resource-scarce nations would face the risk of being erased from the geopolitical map or undergoing drastic political changes. Some nations may lose independence, becoming part of larger empires, or even cease to exist altogether. One of the greatest challenges in this scenario would be resource crises. As continents unite, essential resources such as freshwater, energy, and arable land would become scarcer. Nations would fiercely compete for resource control, leading to significant shifts in international relations and politics. This shift would force nations to adapt their territorial and resource management strategies as new natural barriers emerge. Countries rich in resources would become prime targets for invasions or conflicts over control. Harsh climate zones or resource-poor areas would become unsustainable, triggering large-scale migrations as populations seek more livable regions. To navigate these challenges, nations would need to develop new strategies for resource management, particularly in a world where resources are unevenly distributed and competition for them becomes more intense than ever before. Current models of resource management may no longer be effective in this drastically altered geopolitical landscape. Beyond political and territorial changes, the unification of continents would profoundly impact cultures and societies. Previously distinct cultural regions might be forced to integrate into a unified culture. Some cultures may disappear or merge, giving rise to new cultural identities. But this could also lead to conflicts among different communities and ethnic groups. Countries could face cultural crises as diverse ethnic groups are forced to coexist under new circumstances. Geographical and climatic changes might make it impossible for some cultures to preserve their traditions. While others may flourish, the integration or division of ethnic groups would pose a complex challenge for nations in this new era. Mass migrations would be inevitable due to drastic geographical and climatic shifts. Regions severely affected by environmental changes could become uninhabitable, forcing people to relocate. Newly formed nations would have to manage these migrations, facing challenges in population control and ensuring the rights and well-being of displaced individuals. Population distribution would also change, as former economic and cultural hubs might lose their significance. Nations would need to adjust their development strategies to prevent newly formed regions from becoming abandoned wastelands and instead transform them into thriving centers of global activity. The unification of continents will bring profound and inevitable changes to nations and existing cultures. Countries may be divided, disappear, or undergo complete transformation. Resource management, territorial control, and the maintenance of political power will become urgent issues. Societies will face unprecedented challenges in adapting to the new environment and developing political, cultural, and social systems that align with these changes. The unification of Earth's continents will lead to extensive transformations in the global ecosystem. Changes in geographical structure, climate, and natural conditions will have significant effects on life on this planet. Existing ecosystems, which have developed over millions of years, will face new challenges and may be completely altered. Some species will struggle to adapt to new living conditions, leading to extinction risks, while others may thrive, creating new opportunities but also potential threats to the survival of other species. As continents merge, one of the most apparent changes will be shifts in the habitats of animal and plant species. Oceans, seas, deserts, and rainforests will no longer maintain their current structure and distribution. Landmasses will connect, forming new mountain ranges, arid regions, or deserts, while seas and oceans will also change, affecting both marine and terrestrial ecosystems. Species living in affected areas will have to cope with changing habitats. Those adapted to current conditions may struggle to survive in altered environments. For instance, cold region species like polar bears may be forced to migrate further north or face extinction if ice-covered regions disappear. Tropical species may suffer habitat loss due to climate shifts and changes in land distribution. While some species may fail to adapt, others could seize opportunities to thrive. New species may emerge as environments evolve, and highly adaptable species will have the chance to dominate newly available areas. However, this dominance may lead to fierce competition and even the extinction of weaker species. A completely new ecosystem could take shape, with certain species emerging as dominant due to their superior adaptability. One of the most significant negative impacts of continental unification is the extinction of animal and plant species unable to adjust to new habitats. As landmasses merge, many species will lose their ability to migrate or find alternative living spaces. The destruction of natural habitats due to climate shifts, territorial changes, and other environmental factors could result in mass extinctions. Species that have evolved over millions of years will face immense challenges in adapting to these changes. Those unable to migrate or alter their survival behaviors will be eliminated from ecosystems. For example, species restricted to specific narrow regions and unable to move elsewhere will have no chance of survival. Changes in temperature, humidity, and resource distribution will create formidable natural barriers, making it impossible for some species to persist. A prime example is the endemic species of tropical rainforests or biodiversity-rich marine regions. When continents connect, forming new mountain ranges or deserts, these species may not be able to survive in the new environments due to unsuitable conditions. The extinction of such species will reduce biodiversity, affecting both animal and plant life within ecosystems. As continents merge into a supercontinent, ecosystems will have to adapt to new environmental conditions. Both animal and plant species will seek new habitats, and old ecosystems will be transformed or replaced by new ones. Previously isolated land areas may become centers for the development of certain species, while regions that once had high biodiversity may face disruption. This transformation could increase competition among species, as those capable of adapting to the new conditions will quickly gain dominance. Some species will thrive, while others that fail to alter their behavior or ecology will be eliminated. This may lead to the formation of new animal and plant populations and, at times, the emergence of new food chains where predators and prey shift in unprecedented ways. Marine ecosystems will be equally affected. As continents merge, ocean currents will change, impacting the distribution of nutrients in the seas. This shift could disrupt marine ecosystems. From coral reefs to fisheries, many marine species will have to adapt to new living conditions and may need to migrate elsewhere in search of food or breeding grounds. Marine life could suffer significantly from these changes. Species such as fish, corals, and other marine creatures might struggle as their habitats undergo sudden transformations. Fish and other sea creatures may have to seek new environments, but the newly formed oceanic regions might lack the nutrients necessary to sustain them. This will alter the structure of marine ecosystems and impact the food supply for humans. The unification of continents will bring profound and widespread changes to Earth's ecosystems. Species that fail to adapt to new living conditions will face extinction, while others may thrive and dominate new regions. These changes will create new ecosystems but will also lead to the loss of the biodiversity we currently know. Environmental transformation will pose a major challenge to both ecosystems and humanity as we confront unpredictable changes in the natural world. The merging of all Earth's continents will not only cause ecological and environmental shifts but will also profoundly impact human societies. The geographical changes will introduce a series of significant challenges while simultaneously creating new opportunities, particularly in migration, resource distribution, and cultural development. This transformation will push humanity to explore new ways to cooperate, develop, and address global issues. However, this process will also come with substantial difficulties, from maintaining social stability to managing resources efficiently in an entirely transformed world. One of the greatest challenges humans will face when continents merge is large-scale migration. With changes in geography and climate, densely populated areas today may become uninhabitable. Regions that currently sustain human life could be affected by factors such as desertification, climate change, or the loss of crucial natural resources. These changes will drive millions of people to migrate to new areas in search of habitable land, leading to mass migration waves. Large-scale movements will create immense challenges in population distribution and management. Cities will face rapid population growth, putting pressure on infrastructure systems such as transportation, healthcare, education, and housing. Conversely, some areas may become deserted or abandoned, leading to uneven population distribution and making it difficult to sustain stable communities. The merging of continents will not only bring about massive geographical changes but will also directly impact the distribution of natural resources. Previously isolated regions will be connected, leading to a redistribution of essential resources such as water, minerals, energy, and land, which may no longer be sufficient to meet the needs of all areas. Some nations and regions may become wealthier due to abundant natural resources, while others could face severe shortages. This will create intense competition between nations and communities over the control of key resources. Countries will need to find new cooperative strategies to ensure fair and efficient resource distribution. preventing conflicts and inequality in resource access. Another major challenge is the development of shared cultures as nations and regions undergo significant changes. With the unification of continents, communities will have more opportunities for cultural exchange and interaction. Different cultures will meet, merge, and potentially create new cultural identities. However, this process will also lead to cultural tensions and conflicts. Cultures will need to adapt to one another while preserving their unique identities. Traditional values may be threatened, while new cultural elements must be embraced with caution. Conflicts between cultures will become a complex issue, requiring the development of new strategies for reconciliation and the preservation of cultural diversity in an ever-changing world. Despite these challenges, the unification of continents will also open new doors for global cooperation and development. The merging of landmasses will encourage humanity to view global issues more holistically, strengthening collaboration among nations and international communities. Problems such as climate change, environmental protection, and natural resource management will no longer be confined to individual nations but will require global efforts to address. Scientific and technological collaboration will be key to solving these global challenges. Countries will need to share knowledge, technology, and resources to develop innovative and sustainable solutions for the future. This will create opportunities for advancements in renewable energy, environmental technology, healthcare, and education. A unified world will present vast opportunities for global trade expansion. As continents connect, nations will gain access to new markets and create unprecedented trade opportunities. Trade routes will shift, allowing for faster and more efficient connections between countries and regions. This will not only drive economic growth but also facilitate cultural, knowledge, and technological exchanges between nations. Moreover, the unification of continents could lead to the emergence of new trade and industrial hubs, where countries can collaborate and share resources optimally. Economies will be able to leverage each other's strengths, creating a more diverse and powerful network of cooperation than ever before. The merging of continents will not only pose significant challenges for humanity but also create new opportunities for global cooperation and development. People will have to deal with issues related to migration, resource distribution, and cultural integration while simultaneously seizing chances to collaborate in solving global problems. Advancing science and technology, and expanding trade. Although the road ahead is filled with challenges, it is also an opportunity for humanity to develop sustainably and build a new world where cooperation and progress know no boundaries. If all the continents on Earth were to merge, we would face a completely transformed planet, where every aspect of life would be profoundly affected. These changes would not only impact living environments and ecosystems but also directly influence human development. New land areas would create both opportunities and challenges in migration, resource distribution, and environmental management. Ecosystems would need to adapt to sudden climate shifts, while many species could face extinction or thrive in new conditions. Most importantly, humanity would have to address complex issues of global cooperation and the formation of shared cultures. This is a time when creativity, collaboration, and relentless effort will play a decisive role, bringing forth opportunities but also immense challenges for all of us. There is no doubt that if the continents were to merge, we would witness a vastly different world, one filled with changes, challenges, and opportunities. These transformations would not only deeply impact the environment and ecosystems but also create new opportunities and challenges for humanity in cooperation, development, and building a shared future. Now is the time to consider how we will face these changes, how we can maintain biodiversity, and how we can achieve sustainable development in an ever-evolving world. After watching this video, viewers may reflect on the fragility of our planet and the ways individuals and communities must work together to protect and adapt to the major changes ahead. Can we overcome these challenges? Will humanity be creative enough to turn these opportunities into reality? These are important questions that each of us must contemplate. If you found this video insightful and thought-provoking, don't forget to leave a like and share it with your friends so we can all reflect on the future together. Thank you for watching.